Buying a property in a hill or a beach destination or even a farmhouse in the suburbs of a large city is not as straightforward as it seems. All purchases are not equal. Some locations will make for better life choices. How do you make the right decision? That's what we'll cover on the Property Show today with Arjun Sodhi, architect and interior designer with 25 years of experience in bespoke private residencies, Tarana Sani, chairperson for the CII Task Force for Art and Culture, and Akash Puri, director international India Sotheby's International Realty. Also on the show, we go back to the basics and we have a property explainer on carpet area versus built-up area versus super built-up area. Anuj Puri, chairman of Anarock, will tell us what you, the buyer, should insist on before signing on any paperwork. All right, let's begin with the deep dive on the second home's right choice, right lifestyle discussion that we have. Arjun, Tarana and Akash, it's a pleasure to have you all with us today. I'm going to start with Arjun. Arjun, now that the worst of the pandemic seems to be behind us, has that furor and that hype demand for second homes in destinations like the hills or the beaches tapered off now?
I think that the demand has actually increased. People have come through the pandemic and they've realized that they need to look after their minds, their wellness, their environments, and nature kind of, soothes all that. So a lot of people have now actually wanted to go and stay in new homes away from the cities. I think that people who already had holiday homes want to upgrade them, make them more luxurious. And they've spent considerable amount of time in what they thought were holiday homes, but actually they spent months and sometimes even 6 months to a year in their holiday homes. So it's a new beginning. I think a lot of new learning for design, a new learning for people, for consumers, for people in this environment and industry. It's a new start, I think.
Okay, so you're saying that actually it's not just a weekend stay or a staycation, it's probably become a permanent longer term stay. So second home becomes a holiday home, becomes actually a second home.
Right.
Akash, so, when we discuss all of these holiday homes, there is a certain net worth that the buyer must have. Now, this is a global Indian home buyer who can choose to deploy his wealth in Goa or even in London. What has changed in the pandemic? Has Goa become a more favorable destination now that he cannot travel out?
Yes, Manisha, that's true. Goa has actually become one of the most popular holiday home destinations in India. And prices have only risen, since the onset of the pandemic in Goa. There's a very important factor I want to actually share with you, that the LRS outflows have contracted by 32% in FY21. So there's a lot of, and this money was used for going overseas to travel, for luxury and so on and so forth. And all this money is now available to actually inject into the residential market and look for homes in holiday destinations. As people realize that they might need a plan B, if they get caught and travel is restricted and they're not allowed to move outside. So they would like to have homes where they could get good views, access to greenery, large spaces and good infrastructure facilities in the city.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned LRS, that's a liberalized remittance scheme. So are we saying that a lot of that chunk which was allowed by RBI used to also go into buying homes abroad, which is probably not happening now, Akash? Other than Goa, what are the other destinations?
Well, hills are a very popular destination. Dehradun has also picked up on the cards and, around that area with the infrastructure having improved. Very recently, actually, during the pandemic earlier this year, we had a property listed in Dehradun. Would you believe it? It went higher than the asking price, and we had a bidding war of 3 bidders actually wanting that specific property because it had fantastic views of the hills.
Mm-hmm. Arjun, going to come back to you. You talked about probably a new wave starting off, in fact, after the pandemic. So what do the buyers really want in this holiday home, which has become a second home today? A lot of developers, large developers like the Lodha, the Tatas, the DLFs are now beginning to, go back to that segment. The homes that they built maybe in some of these locations weren't selling as well earlier, but now they are. So what should developers do? How should they build these? What is the demand like?
So you see, I think that people are now searching for properties which allow them a private sanctuary. They want to actually be able to have their spaces within a development. So if developers and our real estate corporate industry wishes to create new destinations out of in say the hills or in beach accessible to beaches, etc. I think the most important thing would be that you have to provide for the individual to be able to have his own private space, have areas which are not just large open plan, but have smaller areas which can become into work zones. And these have to be addressed by anybody who's wishing to to satisfy the needs of the consumers and the clients. So I think design has taken a change where large open space, communities where multiple flats were, built up in a closed environment and not really going to be sought after in a price budget naturally. But I think what people are looking for is private estates. I mean, that's the top of what is required as a holiday home with its own gardens and spaces.
So you're saying that lesser public spaces, more private spaces, so you may give them a small piece of their own, but that should be their own. Akash, do you see that shift also from condominiums and penthouses to villas?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. And even in the international market, for example, more villas are actually sold in Dubai, and the demand for villas has really shot up, in Dubai during the pandemic because people want private spaces. And when it comes to actually buying overseas, or domestically, domestic has suddenly going to pick up very well, and also because of the fact that the stamp duty, has been increased for foreign buyers in certain countries, and people are also suggesting curtailing foreign buyers from buying overseas.
Tarana is music to the ears, isn't it? That money is staying back in the country. People are rediscovering their own fantastic hill and beach destinations. Of course, Goa was always everyone's favorite, but then I'm hearing so many new destinations which are now beginning to make it into people's list. Okay, let's talk about the fact that, it's lovely to have a beach in a hill home, but these are fragile ecosystems, and people who buy such luxury homes, what would you advise them? How should they be mindful of keeping both sustainability in mind and also the local environment protection?
Thanks, Manisha. I think that the first thing that I would agree with Arjun is that when you look for a holiday home, it needs to be somewhere where you can nurture yourself, something that needs to be more intimate and more cozy. And it is supplemented further with the fact that you tend to look around you and assimilate yourself within the local surroundings. So one of the things that I did was to realize the topography, understand that, for example, Kasauli was a very arid region, and I needed to create my garden to rewild rather than something that was using plants and flora and fauna which were not typical to the region. Not only does it make it local, but it also makes it more beautiful and in sync with the ecology. Mm-hmm. The other thing with sustainability is I think it comes in so many different forms. So whether it's selecting your appliances or using materials in the house that are more eco-friendly to something that is actually just comfortable, right? Like you don't want to be troubled with over complicated mechanisms at home or things, that can get spoiled and need service centers, which are very, very far away and inaccessible. So I think the whole idea is really to be able to calm down, rejuvenate, and use the space for something where you can unwind.
So you're saying keep the flora a lot more local and a lot more wild rather than curating it. Arjun, I mean, let's face it, after the IPCC report, everybody is staring at a climate change situation. Do people really look at sustainable homes? Do they give you the mandate that, hey, look, we want to probably make a net zero home today. Why not? I mean, we can afford to. And first of all, it's not even more expensive to go net zero, isn't it? But has solar become integral to the homes that you're designing, these holiday homes and second homes?
Yes, actually, Manisha, it's actually the well-traveled and the educated are very conscious now. They wish to, be sensitive to the environment. So sustainable, strategies for a home include many things. It's solar, it's wind, it's basically rainwater harvesting. It's about IoT sensors so that you maintain properly. It's about how to insulate the buildings, how to insulate your homes to create daylight, access to most of the parts of the house or the building. It's also, that people, when they've traveled and they see and they look around you and they hear and they've seen what climatic change is doing, fires, forest fires, earthquakes, flooding,
Right.
we all feel responsible in a way. So as designers, we need to initiate this and encourage it.
Akash, the investment question now. I mean, for the longest time, I've done the math. It's not, holiday homes were not an investment purchase. But then I've rapidly, in the last at least 18 months, I've seen prices of homes, at least in destinations like Goa and like you said, Dehradun, actually go up quite a bit. So now, do you believe that rush is over? Maybe we are not going to see crazy price increases. So if you buy it, do you buy it for an investment or do you buy it to live in?
I think it's a bit of both now, Manisha. As Arjun had alluded before, and so did Tarana, people are actually enjoying living in these homes. And I feel this pandemic, and who knows, maybe there's another one coming through. So, this will actually give them the possibility of having a home which is self-inclusive, where they can spend time, because travel overseas will become difficult. And it's all basically a matter of demand and supply. So people are getting more selective. It's just not about rushing into a holiday home, but also finding the correct destination. And once you have a good location, you've got good infrastructure close by, you're bound to increase in value of your property.
Tarana, health, we didn't talk about it. I mean, buying a second home has to be somewhere where you can actually access a good quality hospital, isn't it?
Yes, I think that's something that's been made even more obvious with the last 18 months. But, there's one more factor that's come into having a home rather than going and living in a hotel. I think in the last 18 months, people have started spending a lot more time with their families. People are spending time selectively with the people they choose to spend time with. A holiday home is a perfect place for that. And now that shift sociologically has taken place and everyone's realized that it's actually great fun to hang together rather than, just be a nuclear family that goes for a holiday. I think that collective spirit has come in. And then in that case, if you've got the senior citizens, you've got the children, I think medical facilities are also conspicuous. But at the same time, look at us. We're doing a virtual call. The doctors and the medics are completely on board with working on this form of technology. So I think all of us are a lot more accessible than we used to be.
Absolutely. I think the world has changed quite permanently in many ways. Arjun Sodhi, Akash Puri and Tarana Sani, thank you very much for joining me. It was a soft, interesting discussion, and hopefully people who are watching this bit will have some important takeaways.